Good afternoon. The king of the world was in Washington and San Francisco this week. We're talking about the Chinese president, the chairman of the Chinese Communist Party (CCP), Xi Jinping, and he had a good meeting with the Americans. It seems that fears of a hot war between America and China is abating, and it looks like we are becoming more and more constructive on China, even as Zimbabweans looking forward to a new government. We need to start to be constructive on China, or more constructive on China. We know of Chinese investments in Zimbabwe. We need to give assurances to the Chinese investments and Chinese community that their assets in Zimbabwe are safe under the new government, and all that we require from them is to adhere to our environmental laws, labor laws, and also pay a fair share of their taxes, and be as a good corporate citizen in our nation, as we host them, the Chinese, and other global companies from around the world. What the United States seeks from China is, White House emphasizes, is competition and not war. Even in Zimbabwe, we allow therefore competition between the United States and China to happen, so that it can bring some economic deliverables to our people. And therefore, I am happy to announce that we find the meeting of Joe Biden and Xi Jinping as a positive one down south. China is the fastest growing developing economy, and soon to overtake United States in GDP value, and also a powerhouse in global manufacturing and shipping. It is important for a country like Zimbabwe to have good diplomatic and trade relations with China. We have to emphasize that in the new government, China plays a pivotal role in the development of the economy of Zimbabwe. We do understand that the current regime's relationship with China is not problematic, only that China does not seek to enforce its values on nations that it trades with. Therefore, despotic governments tend to prosper under under the leadership of China, because China does not impose itself on these countries and does not require human um, rights standards and democracies and other standards that the Western leaders often require smaller countries. So, therefore, it's not a bad thing to have a relationship with China. It's just that your government needs to be working on deliverables to its own citizens, instead of waiting for Big Brother to tell you what to do. So, therefore, we look forward to working with the Chinese in establishing a new Zimbabwe, and and moving away from this corrupt regime, which I believe is not only corrupt against the Zimbabweans, but is also corrupt to the detriment of Chinese firms in Zimbabwe that need proper electrification in the country, but under Edim Mnangagwa, they cannot get that. Chinese companies that need infrastructural development in the nation, but they cannot get that under this current environment and under this current regime, which seeks nothing but to extract resources, natural resources from of the country for personal gain. And therefore, I do believe that the Chinese military and the Chinese government will join us in understanding that Zimbabwe needs to turn a new leaf and start afresh. And therefore, it is essential for me to make this video of confirmation that our new government is going to be constructive as far as China is concerned. and therefore we also witness the Russian investments in Zimbabwe as well, and therefore not the Russian concerns. In our new government, we do recognize that Russia is a very pivotal partner historically to Zimbabwe's attainment of independence and even up to this juncture. Therefore, we want to work with the Russians according to uh, to how the Russians treat us going forward. We do recognize that Russia has got problems with the West at the moment, but we do not think that it is up to the small country Zimbabwe downside to be concerning itself too much about the relations between the West and Russia. We find ourselves at a place where we are fighting for economic relevance, and we will be constructive and work with whoever is willing to work with us in our journey as we join um, the countries that are succeeding and are doing well. Have a great afternoon.